Just when we thought the drama of the London season was the biggest story, Netflix dropped an announcement that has split the entire Bridgerton fandom right down the middle. On March 24, 2026, the creators confirmed that Season 5 will center on Francesca Bridgerton and a new character, Michaela Stirling, marking the show's very first queer-led romance. That single decision has sent shockwaves through the community, creating a deep and passionate divide. On one side, you have a historic celebration. On the other, outright disappointment and fans vowing to skip the season entirely. Today, we're breaking down the explosive reactions, the wild theories, and what this massive shift really means for the future of Bridgerton. Because while one part of the fandom is celebrating a groundbreaking moment, another is loudly asking, what about Eloise? So let's back up a bit. After Season 4 wrapped up Benedict and Sophie's story, all eyes were on the future. Book readers and show watchers alike were placing their bets. And pretty much everyone assumed the fiercely independent, fan-favorite Eloise Bridgerton would finally get her season, following the order of Julia Quinn's novels. But Shondaland, as always, had other plans. In a twist nobody saw coming this soon, Netflix announced that Season 5 would adapt the 6th book, When He Was Wicked, but with a major change. Francesca Bridgerton, now a widow after the sudden death of her husband John Stirling, will be the lead, and her love interest won't be the book's Michael Stirling, but a gender-swapped Michaela Stirling, played by the incredible Masali Baduza. The season's official logline says we'll pick up 2 years after John's tragic death, with Francesca re-entering the marriage mart for purely practical reasons. But her plans get thrown into chaos when Michaela, John's cousin, returns to London to manage the family estate. This forces the two women to confront the complicated and intense feelings they have for one another, setting up Bridgerton's first ever central sapphic romance. Production is already underway, but the conversation it sparked is just getting started, and it has divided the once united ton. For a huge part of the audience, especially LGBTQ+ viewers and their allies, this announcement was nothing short of monumental. The reaction was immediate and overwhelmingly positive. TikTok and X just exploded with posts about glee, historic validation, and pure, unadulterated queer joy.
Let's go, lesbians! Let's go!
For so many, seeing a mainstream, mega-popular period drama finally center a love story between two women felt like a milestone that was long overdue. As one fan ecstatically posted, absolutely delighted, thrilled, screaming, delirious. And this isn't just about ticking a representation box, it's about the kind of story being told. Showrunner Jess Brownell has been very clear that this season won't be about queer trauma. In an interview, she promised that while there will be conflict, the story is grounded in joy and humor. Her mission is to deliver a season defined by big-time yearning. That phrase has become a rallying cry for excited fans. It speaks to a very real part of the sapphic experience, that slow burn, the gay panic of wondering if a friendship is becoming something more, and the intensity of a crush you can't even name. Brownell said, "To make an entire Bridgerton season about a sapphic relationship feels huge, and for countless viewers, it is." The actors feel it too. Hannah Dodd, who plays Francesca, talked about how queer stories have traditionally been excluded from period dramas, pointing out that queer people did exist, have always existed, and will always exist. So they deserve a love story just like everybody else. Masali Baduza shared how excited she is for us to see Michaela's vulnerability and to watch her yearn for Francesca. The promise of a happily ever after for two women in a genre that has so often ignored them feels like a truly groundbreaking moment. It's like TV is finally seeing a love story that's been in the shadows for way too long. But for every cheer, there's been an equally loud groan of frustration. A significant and very vocal part of the fandom is deeply disappointed, and their grievance can be summed up in 3 words. What about Eloise? Eloise Bridgerton, played with so much fire by Claudia Jessie, has been a fan favorite since day one. Her story is the 5th book, To Sir Philip with Love. And for years, fans have been hyped for her enemies to lovers romance, affectionately nicknamed Philoise. The decision to skip her season for Francesca's has felt like a slap in the face to many. Social media was flooded with comments like, "I was so sure it would be Eloise this season," and "I'm actually mad because what do you mean I'm not seeing season till 2030?" The wait for her story now feels endless. with one fan joking, "They're gonna keep Claudia in this show till she's 40, playing early 20s. This isn't just impatience. It's a feeling that a beloved character's journey is being unfairly pushed aside." On top of the Eloise issue, you have two other camps of unhappy fans. First, the book purists. For them, changing Michael to Michaela is a step too far. They argue that Francesca's book deals with specific themes, like her struggle with infertility and the pressure to carry on the family name, themes they feel are erased by the gender swap. You see comments like, "Fran's story is my favorite. It does not need modifying," and "This will be the season I miss." Then there's the group questioning the timing. "John's body isn't even cold yet," one fan exclaimed, pointing out that rushing into a new romance so soon after her husband's death feels jarring. They argue the 2-year time jump won't feel like enough in a binge watch, making Francesca's new love feel premature. So, whether it's loyalty to Eloise, the books, or the pacing, it's clear a lot of people are not on board. With the fandom at war, the fan theories have gone into overdrive. Everyone is trying to guess how Season 5 is going to play out. Theory 1, the ultimate slow burn romance. The first big theory is all about the pacing. Jess Brownell's focus on yearning has fans convinced this won't be a whirlwind romance like Daphne and Simon's. Instead, they're predicting a long, tension-filled slow burn that really leans into the "are we just friends, or is this more?" panic of falling in love in the Regency era. Many are also theorizing that Benedict, who has explored his own queerness, will become a key ally for Francesca, creating a powerful thread of queer solidarity in the family. Another popular idea? A change of scenery. To escape the prying eyes of the Ton, fans think much of the romance will unfold at Francesca's estate, in the remote, windswept highlands of Scotland, a setting that many agree is romantic as hell. Theory 2, the strategic Eloise delay. So, why the long wait for Eloise? The main theory is that it's all part of a bigger plan. Some argue it's just about narrative momentum. Season 4 set up Francesca's story so heavily with John's death and Michaela's introduction that pivoting away would have killed the buzz. Others think it's a calculated move by Netflix to keep a fan-favorite character and her massive fan base hooked for at least one more season. Fans also believe this extra time will give Eloise more room to grow, maybe with a side plot where she starts writing letters to Sir Philip, which would set up a perfect transition into a potential Season 6. Theory 3, backlash, risks, and double standards. Finally, there's the meta theory about the backlash itself. Some fans are genuinely worried that the negative reaction from book purists and disappointed Eloise fans could impact the writing, or even worse, the show's future. Queer fans have voiced concerns that if viewership drops, Netflix might see it as a sign that queer-led stories aren't profitable, hurting future projects. This has led to a passionate defense of the show, with many pointing out the double standards. They argue that the show has changed the book order before, aged up characters, and diversified the cast without anywhere near this level of outrage.
Take it from me. This place here changes a man.
Oh yeah, in what way?
I used to be white.
Showrunner Jess Brownell even addressed the homophobic undertones of some criticism, stating that bigotry has no place in the Bridgerton world. It's created a dynamic where one part of the fandom is actively defending the show against the other, and the whole debate is as dramatic as anything Lady Whistledown could ever write. There's no question about it. Bridgerton's 5th season is already its most groundbreaking and controversial yet. On one hand, it's a monumental step forward for queer representation, promising a story of joy and love for a community that's been invisible in period dramas for too long. On the other, it has alienated a huge portion of its fan base, who feel their favorite characters and stories are being pushed aside. The result is a fandom at war with itself, a complex mix of celebration, frustration, and passionate debate. One thing is certain, when Season 5 finally premieres, every single eye will be on Francesca and Michaela, waiting to see if their love story can unite a divided Ton, or if this bold new chapter will be a scandal too great to overcome. The whole world will be watching.